She laughed as Kyle growled and carried her off to the bedroom.
Stacey. What the hell had she been thinking? Stacey Mallory, a.k.a. Salienne Dulcette, held her head in her hands. She'd just gotten off the phone with her former college roommate, having agreed to fly across the country to the East Coast for a visit. She couldn't help herself. It had been an impetuous decision, made under the sweet duress of Lena's soft-spoken tones and remembered images of those huge flashing green eyes. Saying no to Lena had always been damn near impossible, which is exactly why Stacey had refused to pick up the phone for so long. For one thing, Lena was one of those people who was always doing something for someone else. She was the one people confided in, the quiet and reliable shoulder to lean on, the friend you could always count on to lend a helping hand, or simply just be there when you needed her. Lena rarely asked for anything herself, so when she did, Stacey felt obligated, because she knew she would feel awful for days if she didn't. Stacey also knew that Lena harbored guilt on her behalf. While Stacey never once blamed her for anything that had happened, there was no doubt in her mind that Lena felt at least partially responsible. Lena believed she had let her best friend down and had been trying to make amends for the past 5 years. Stacey had seen it in her eyes the last time they'd been face to face. She read it in between the lines of every card and handwritten note Lena sent her, and she heard it in her voice, with every voicemail message Lena left. Not in what she said, but in all the things she didn't say. The last time they'd seen each other, Stacey had been in critical but stable condition, the victim of a horrible accident. They'd been seniors, preparing for finals, excited about being so close to finishing their undergrad studies with bachelor's degrees, Stacey in English literature and Lena in comparative literature. Since then, Stacey had avoided direct contact with Lena, a fact which she knew was more painful to Lena's sensitive soul than any form of verbal or physical abuse would have been. Hurting Lena was not Stacey's intention, but she hadn't had much choice. Her life had been irrevocably changed that day. The person she was, the life she had led, had all changed drastically. Lena was part of her old life, and for Stacey, a painful reminder of what once was. To soften the blow of her outright rejection, and to ease some of her own guilt, Stacey sent Lena a signed first edition copy of every book she published, along with a small card listing Stacey's current address and personal number. The books were worth a fortune, since Salienne Dulcette was one of the most reclusive, and therefore sought after, authors in recent history. Her sexy, erotic, and insightful novels had taken the literary world by storm, finding and filling a niche among strong, independent, and often disappointed women. Even though copycats had come out of the woodwork after her first book surpassed all expectations and shot straight to the top of the bestseller list, there was nothing that came close to Stacey's poignant wit and engaging storylines. Through her writing, Stacey touched the souls and hearts of women everywhere. Her books were now offered in dozens of languages worldwide. Lena apparently loved the books, too. Her notes and messages never failed to mention how much she treasured them, not just because she enjoyed romance novels, but because they had come from Stacey directly. Stacey knew that despite their worth, Lena would never sell them, just as she knew Lena would not reveal her personal address or phone number, even though she would be paid handsomely for that kind of information. Not answering Lena's letters or returning her phone calls had been a difficult yet conscious choice. It had taken years to build thick walls of seclusion around herself, but on those rare occasions when she was totally honest with herself, she had to admit she enjoyed hearing from her old friend. Her spirits lifted every time she spotted Lena's loose, curvy handwriting on the envelope, or heard her low, sweet voice on her voicemail. As a result of Lena's tenacity, Stacey knew everything that had happened in Lena's life